All right. Welcome back to HMODS. We're going to try and see if we can find a fucking...
Words.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get sweaty. You gotta get sweaty in here. It's time to get sweaty.
Hey everyone, I got some new merch. There's really nothing more to say except for the fact that I think it's pretty f***ing cool. Yeah, new merch. Go check it out. Oh, I see that cool pint glass. I made that. And I made that too. Ooh, and that. That's, I like that one. So, yeah, go buy some HMODS merch. It let your friends know how cool it is. How cool I am. Or that you think I'm cool, whatever. Yeah, thanks.
Alright, so when last we spoke, fair true believers and I, we're in the midst of fixing or actually putting together this fine machine, which is called, I'm not wordsing very well today, am I?
Maybe you need food.
Maybe I do need food. Anyway, so one thing that I did last night is I decided that the paint job on this was a little bit too clean, so I sanded off a lot of the paint on both sides to make it sort of look dirty, because this is exhaust, and exhaust ports are never clean. So I think that looks much better now. The distressing on this thing is, in my opinion, it's some of my best work. And like when you're doing a PC that's just a single color, you run into this risk of it just being kind of bland. And I'm glad that's not the case anymore, because, you know, desert camouflage isn't the most interesting thing in the world. Maybe it is on the BDUs because, or the uniforms. It is on the uniforms because, you know, it's much more intricate, and you have fashion designers for the military. So they wanted to make it, you know, practical, but also kind of cool looking, because uniforms have to inspire and also instill fear. But with the vehicles, it's much less function than it is form. And with desert camouflage, they don't do the, you know, the white and black to make it look like sand and stones and shit. It's just tan. So, but no vehicle is the cleanest thing in the world. And so also what I did is with this, you can see this, with this and right here on the back door panel, you can see these little things that I've painted. This is just super glue, and what I wanted to do was make it look like it had been welded, because plating on vehicles is always breaking. I literally, this is no shit. When I was driving tanks, there was an officer cadet that every once in a while, like when we were at Riley, their cadets would come through, and they're cadets that are trained to be officers. Well, we lent our tank to an OCS crew, and one of them drove my tank right into a berm, like, and snapped the number one skirt on the right side. Now, the number one skirt on an M1 tank weighs 4 tons. I'm not even kidding, it weighs 4 tons. Because it's made of depleted uranium. It's like that thick, and it's about like that. Like that. It weighs 4 tons because it's the densest alloy on Earth. Snapped it right in half. And so that was fun because it's a top secret. Depleted uranium is top secret, so nobody, not even maintenance, could just, you know, come on and look at it. You have to have a top secret security clearance. So guess who got to stand guard for 8 hours twice, you know, for, you know, 2 days in a row until someone could come pick it up from General Dynamics to go and repair it and or melt it down and make a new one. Old Hobbs. So that was fun. But anyway, so my point is,
The welds.
the welds, thank you. Things get welded. No vehicle is perfect. Unless it's just rolled off the line, and there's not a single vehicle in the military anymore that's like that. So I did that. I did these two, and then I did this one on the. I like what it did here because stencils are dirty, and this I'm really just impressed with how true this is to a military vehicle. And with the weld here and then painted over, it makes it look even more genuine. So first thing we're going to do is we need to drill holes in this for the polycarbonate panel, and then we're going to drill holes through the polycarbonate to match it so that I can rivet it to the panel. So that's number one. Okay, so she went out and got some binder clips, which means we now might have a way to do this, but I'm still going to put it on a piece of wood to drill through it. I think other than that, we're good to go. This is a perfect big of wood right here. This will allow me to just force it all the way through. I've already made these punch holes right here, so it should, when I'm drilling, it should just stay right in place. And since I'm using a bigger bit, I don't have to worry about it snapping again. That was fun. Never done that before. So, okay. We drill. Good shit. All the holes line up. She has good ideas. And that's why she runs things. We're gonna peel this, and we're not gonna touch it anymore until it goes back into place. And I'm thinking maybe I should wash my hands before I do, because I don't want to get any fingerprints on this. Cue the porn music. I'm totally going to break up the porn music for that. Just beat it. And now we will attach the window to the... Should I pull this? Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pull the corners. Because I'm f***ing smart sometimes. Perfect! We should have it on the outside. This is going to look super cool. Good stuff. And we're going to put this aside and not touch it until it's going in, and we're going to leave this on there because I am not an idiot anymore. I'm on the fence as to a couple of... Oh, well, I know one thing we do need to do, but I'm on the fence as to putting this on right away because I'm kind of thinking putting because we're using an AIO for this, and I'm kind of thinking of putting it on first so I can run all the cables, but I don't know. I do need to put this back on though. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I didn't, because this needs to go in first.
What is that?
This is the power. When we were taking this apart, I was going to take this whole frickin' thing off, and thankfully I discovered that I did not need to. About 5 minutes into it. These are going to be interesting cables to run because they're long enough to run in a couple of different directions. But what I like to do is I could either run it this way and go invisible and it'll come around up here. But what I like to do, and if I can bend them right, is I don't like for these cables, I actually like to have them visible because it shows off my cable management skills. So what I'm probably going to do, and yeah, I should probably just say what I'm going to do is run it like this. Because this way I can utilize the double stick tape, and then we'll just have a couple of quick turns. So that's going to be just fine. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I should attach the AIO first. You know what we're going to do first though? We're going to attach some grommets. grommets. Grommets are fun. And we've got a few of them. So we're gonna put grommets back where all of these go, and then here. Boop, 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 boop. That's a lot of booping. And now we're good. So it doesn't go on the hardest. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the AIO on this thing and then put it on. And the cool thing about this is everything's already attached. I could put the fans in the front. I'm gonna do that. This is a great idea. And that, kids, is why you take it apart, because you might run into something that makes a load easier, something that would have been not so easy. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start putting in. We're gonna be using these up here fans, which are PWM and RGB, or ARGB, and it comes with this nifty freaking hub right here that we can attach to this. And there's enough room on this thing that it's gonna fit very, very nicely. So we're gonna be using 4 of these fans, 3 in the front and then 1 in the back. The rad is 240, is 280, so it's 140 mils. So we're not gonna be using those. Otherwise we would be using 6. This is a 6-pack of up here ARGB PWM fans that spin up to 1600 RPM. They're good fans, and you get a 6-pack and a controller hub for ARGB PWM fans for 1/3 the cost of 3 Corsair fans. F you, Corsair. So this one, how can I run? Oh, we'll run it through this hole right here. What I'm doing here is I'm attaching some of this double stick tape because I like to cable manage as I go. This is going to be the middle one, and it will, well, how do I want to do this? Yeah, so this is going to be the middle one, and so this fan is going to run these cables up here and then through this hole here. So this is why I am doing this, because this way it'll allow me to semi-hide the cables a little bit. As I've said many, many times before, I don't like using zip ties if I don't have to. Where's my razor blade? And then what I'll do is I'm going to run the cables through the screws. So the way I want to do it is there, because that way you've got the fans coming through perfectly in the opening. The problem is this hole is not big enough, so we're going to be widening. We're drilling out some holes. Okay, hopefully we're back on track. Okay, this is going to be fun. I had this idea, and I'm right in that I'm gonna want to run the cables from this fan onto this double stick tape before I attach this fan, which means I have to take that fan off and attach them both at the same time. So they're right next to each other anyway, so running them like that isn't a huge bitch of a thing. And okay, so we're going to, and I'll give it just a bit of space too, so that way if I need to stretch them out or anything I can. And I don't think I will need to, but just in case. This is turning into a really, really creatively interesting project. Now I'm going to attach the middle one first to give that one sort of a base to go on, sort of hang there. So as you can see, it looks really cool. On the other hand, we've had a revelation, Danielle and I. They would go better underneath